Hello friends, in this video we want to talk about the price action. Price action zones. Every candle on the chart is part of a PAZ of one form or another, and knowing where price is in relation to these zones gives us a massive edge on the markets. Up until now, we've been taught nearly everything we need to know to be successful traders. PAZs really are the last piece of the puzzle. So let's get started. So what is a price action zone? A PAZ is exactly what it says. It's a zone on your charts that show a distinct type of price action. These distinct zones include flags, stacked supply or demand, and compression. Once we are able to accurately determine where the zones are, you can see in the above chart I've marked off 8 FTRs as price climbed up. Between each one of these FTR we have a PAZ. So we have 7 PAZ. Simple as once price breaks into a PAZ, engulfs FTR, we know it wants to go to the other side of the zone, the next FTR. Caps on price. When price makes a rally with a strong pull up, this whole lesson works vice versa for pulls, etc. down, there is sure to be some profit taking by the institutions, allowing price to drop back into the pool. Price will very often flag at the top of the pool, as the institution either begin to add long positions to take price higher, or begin to hide short positions to turn price. Seen in a slightly higher time frame, this is a very uniform cap on price, and in every time frame there is a really strong pull moving down from it. The cap price is obviously way too high, so when price returns to it, the sellers are waiting. There are often other signs that a cap will hold, such as the engulf in the chart above, or compression on approach. Caps are simply excellent places to look for price to turn. FTR. Before solving the puzzle of price action and before being able to read it successfully, one must discover and understand the individual pieces of puzzle is made of. Of the building blocks of the puzzle structure, nothing is more important than engulfs and FTRs. I'm going to explain one of the two most important pieces of price action, FTR. Together, we will explore what it looks like, where it can be found, and what it is role in the structure of price action. FTR must be learned properly before one can advance further. So what actually is FTR? FTR means failure to return. But wait, who wants to return? Where do they want to return? And why on earth do they fail? These three important questions must be answered, so let's do it. It's a well-known fact that price, once it reaches a certain barrier, either bounces off it or breaks it. Once it breaks it, two possible scenarios occurs. It either returns back below or above the barrier and goes on in the direction against the break, or fail to return and keeps going to the direction of the break. In the latter scenario, a FTR is made, always, and it is vital importance to be able to identify it. Well, there is such a strong buying or selling pressure, aka supply or demand, at the FTR that the price just cannot return. It must go on in the direction of the break. The selling or buying pressure always remains at FTR after price has left. Now, let's take a look at the anatomy of FTRs. In the picture, you can see a diagram showing some basic variations of FTRs. Look at them carefully. You will see that they may look a bit different, but remember, they are absolutely the same in terms of the structure. The red line A represents a barrier. It can be a support or resistance. a FTR in opposite direction or limit of a price action zone. Price action breaks the barrier 1 and retraces 2. It is irrelevant whether price action crosses the barrier again or not. As in examples 2 and 4 above, at the extreme of the retrace, a base is very often made. B. Then, price action continues in the direction of the break. 3. FTR is confirmed after price action breaks the high or low, C, which formed after the break of the barrier. Only after the break of C, we can say that price action indeed failed to return. Now, when the FTR is confirmed, we draw a rectangle at the base B and protract it to the right. Now that we've studied the diagrams above, we can look at real-life examples of FTRs. FTRs after the break of support or resistance are very common. They are simply everywhere in the chart and you will learn to spot them. You certainly know that there are major support resistance lines as well as minor ones. The more important the support or resistance line is, the more significance we must assign to the FTR that follows. Okay, let's start with the major ones. I assume that you already know that how to distinguish a major support or resistance from minor support or resistance. In the following chart, you can see the brown resistance line. The resistance is a major one. It has been respected many times in the past, not just those 2 touches seen in the picture. Suddenly, the resistance line is broken. It's just a fake out or genuine break. How will we know it? Yes, right. We will wait for FTR to be formed. The price then rushes away from the resistance line. Now it's gonna be interesting. Such FTR is an amazing place to trade on the first visit. The first visit occurred in approximately 1 week. And look at the reaction. The first visit to an FTR is called FTB first time back. FTRs are formed after engulfing of a barrier. We already know this. One of such barriers is an FTR in opposite direction. Look at the diagram below. I think it's self-explanatory. Touch trading a supply or demand zone can be a very daunting prospect, as price doesn't always react as we'd like it to. But we are very often shown that the big money is getting ready to turn price at the next zone. As price is rising, they start selling down to pockets of demand on the way, consuming the orders, so that when they put their big orders in at supply, all those buy orders are gone and price can slide through to the origin of the compression or beyond. It's exactly the same principle for price compressing down to demand. In the example below, price compresses up to a certain point, above which there is no supply left before the origin, so it shoots up to there before reversing and cutting through the CP.